Hello, I'm Carla Richards.
And I'm Brittany Lysing.
And I'm Lena Newman.
And this is
Life
Pairing.
Gaza.
Because life is hard.
So pair it with alcohol.
Or LPs. Or jazz fests.
Ooh.
Ooh. I don't think about my lady. I know that sounds kind of mean, but me and my old lady had fallen into the same routine. Yes, I like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain and cheating on my wife. As today's life pairing is, it's affairs with pina coladas.
Pina coladas.
Woo.
We discuss contrarians, modern jazz, and dunes on the Cape.
Nice. So why did you pick pina coladas?
Well,
I guess we're going to get into that in 45
pina
minutes.
coladas because we hadn't done it. And the only thing I could think of that goes with pina coladas is that song.
Yeah.
And which is about an affair.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that at the end of the song they both find each other. You were.
I know. I was like, you guys are in a very unhealthy relationship, is what I thought. I was like, this isn't a happy song.
Choice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was we kind of sort of this one we worked backwards on, hey, because we were like, we just haven't done pina coladas and we got to find out a way to work backwards.
Yeah.
And then
smart.
Carla stumbled into this goddamn gold mine of
Good call.
Oh man.
And I'm drinking out of a can.
Oh, you're drinking a pina colada out of a can.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
how do you feel about it?
There's a lot of artificial flavoring in here.
Does it taste okay?
It tastes kind of like a chemically pina colada. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So that's fine.
I feel like I'm drinking a glass of water.
Oh, good.
Because I'm taking a little booze break for right now.
Which is very important.
Because I cheated on all my spouses and ended up
You do have many spouses, Brittany. It's very
I don't remember a stitch of it, quite frankly.
So it's time to get out of blackout zone.
Yeah. Get out of blackout zone, get into the light.
And get to church.
Get to church. Praise Jeebus is what they say.
Uh-huh.
I was at the Bill Burr concert here outside, and somebody from the crowd, he was just like, oh, you guys religious up here or something? Because it was like weirdness going on in the crowd. And then somebody yelled from the crowd, we're God-fearing. And I was like, no, we're not. Relax.
Oh, my God.
That always makes me nervous.
In Alberta lately is just, this is why people think Alberta is just fucking hillbillies.
It is funny having going back to Vancouver and then coming back here. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I know. I was like, I always forget. I always like go on the major defense because I'm like just in different places all the time, and I'm always like, it's not that bad. And then I go to like a major event, and I'm like, it's a little bad,
right?
And then
Did you guys hear about that like Sundry parade?
No.
The parade is. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this for a parade, but the float. There was like a racist float, and
what?
So I read about like the headline that was like it was like racist float in Alberta, and I'm like I clicked on it, it's like Sundry. Oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Of course.
We would like to take this opportunity and apologize to the rest of the country.
So
there's some crazy stuff happening here right now.
Although I do have to say, we have a crazy right-wing government, and almost all of them came out against the states for banning abortions.
Yay!
So
that's true. Yeah, abortion, it's not going anywhere in Canada. I really think, I mean, we got to watch it being here in Alberta with our conservativeship, but that's not going anywhere.
No.
Yeah. Thank God. And I'm hoping that any Americans need to come up here. I think doors are open. You can come get a safe abortion anywhere. I think they're going to,
Oh, and there's also a bunch of, I've been noticing lately, like people posting that there's companies funding now for you to travel and do your expenses too. So look into that.
Oh, good. Yeah. And if
I thought was pretty cool.
I know both Lena and Brittany have put up some stuff on their Lena put up some stuff on her Instagram.
Yeah, I put up some.
And you too. Okay, so some information. If you just happen to be listening to this podcast for some reason and you need some help, you can always email us and we will send you some resources.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just know.
And we'll pick you up if you need.
Yeah, we'll come.
We'll
down to the
literally
States.
take you.
I'll drive to Dallas.
We don't have jobs, so it's fine.
We also don't have money.
Oh, my
yeah,
holiday time, but I will come and collect you.
Yeah,
come get you.
Yeah, Lena has
It's
the
important,
money, and
we
have the time.
It's women's health.
Yes,
This is like a
important. It's
hilarious
so
way to
fucking
start
important.
off affairs because it's like pretty actually like usually
You
we're
know
off
what,
on a
though?
tangent, but this is like pretty connected. Actually,
it is very connected.
It really is.
because
Yeah.
especially back in the day, if you were having an affair, we didn't really have a lot of like birth control.
No.
What were you going to do if you got pregnant? You would have
You
a
just-
back alley abortion, sadly.
Yeah, you would,
Or you would
do
just
dirty dancing style and have
yeah.
a fucking
not
doctor.
I'm not the one who got that. I'm not the one that got that girl in trouble, baby. I'm not the one who did it.
I think we've mentioned
Is this
dirty
what my
dancing in the last
$200 was
5
for?
episodes.
Is this what my $200 was for, baby? Huh?
Jerry Orbach, you should have been thankful.
Oh God, he's the best. He's
Mhm.
he's like America's dad.
Yeah, and America's cop.
He's
And
everything.
R.I.P.
America's
man.
Jerry.
He's everything to everyone.
Law and Order's not the same without you, sir.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, R.I.P. Seriously, we love you here.
Yeah.
We love you, Jerry.
We're going
My
on
God,
a lot
this
of
is taking a-
tangents. This episode is
Yeah,
going to
this
be
wild.
14
is
hours
all
long.
sorts of.
What do
going
you
all
guys
over the
think of
place.
affairs?
I guess I'm
Good,
against
bad,
them.
maybe. Who knows?
I just think, you know what I think? Truthfully, if I'm being the most honest, I think that people stay in relationships longer than they should because it's hard to get out of them, and I think like it's not the best thing to cheat, and I think that's awful and it's not the right thing to do, but I just think that's what it sort of entails is like the end of a relationship that should have ended.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but I mean, I don't know. I dipped into the psychology of it. It's like it could be
Right.
anything. It could be a million things.
We
All
could
right,
be
bring
here for
us into
hours.
psychology
everyone.
since we wasted all of our time on.
Oh yeah.
Not
I'm
wasted.
talking about dirty dancing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about. Oh, do you want me to go straight into it?
Sure. Unless
do
you
you
guys
guys
have
wanna
any
have
casual chatting
Casual
about-
opinion. Any hot
I'm
takes
sure
on
we'll
the
be
affairs?
derailed at some
Oh, yeah.
point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's
Yeah.
listen and then we'll just talk about whatever.
1 in 5 people.
Really?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Have admitted to. This was from a British website, but I mean, it
They're-
was.
they're whores over there.
Yeah,
Like, I can't
dangerous.
imagine them any more scantily acting, you know, any more scuddy over there than we are over here. I don't think that's the truth.
No.
But yeah, like when asked without like having to like reveal themselves, 1 in 5 people came forward and said, "Yeah, I've had an affair."
Wow.
Which is a higher. Maybe it's an accurate number. Maybe I wasn't that surprised by it.
I think
It's
that's pretty high.
it's high, but it's like wasn't
It kind
shocking
of
to
makes
me.
sense. Like
Right,
there's
yeah,
lots
no,
of if
for
you think
sure.
about over the time of somebody's life, if
Yeah.
you've got 5 friends, you probably one of your friends did cheat. It might have been on like a boyfriend that they weren't dating for a long time or a girlfriend or whatever.
That's true. It kind of makes sense. So when you say cheating, are you talking about like full on sex with someone else or emotional cheating, or is it all kind of
This is the thing. I think that depends on where you are, what your relationships is, what the standards are, what your discussion has been.
right?
A lot of people have, you know, I don't know. I've talked to people recently that are like, I go on the road and there's an understanding that I just do what I want and I don't
Yeah.
talk about it and it doesn't come home.
Like an open relationship.
But the emotional part of that is like if you start to have feelings for somebody, then that's a problem.
Right.
I've talked to
Right.
people who are in like they have like 4 or 5 partners. What's that called? It's not polygamy. They're calling it a new thing now.
Oh, well, that's
Being a slut.
Oh, it's like yeah,
No, I'm sure there's.
like people are just like
I know
It's
what the
not-
word for 3 is, but
it's
I
not
can't.
monogamy. It's
No.
something else. It's
Polyam-
it's polyamorous. Yeah.
Polyamorous.
And people have like, but there's major rules there too, where it's like you can't be emotionally. You can have one person, and then you can't be emotionally connected. I think it's a dangerous, slippery, awful slope. Because how you gonna be like with somebody? What makes you think you're so special? Number one, that number 3 is not gonna up his game, and I'm gonna fucking be like hit the road.
It's an interesting because like
That's true, right?
swingers clubs, like how does that work. Like
I've been to one only performing in a swingers club comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, right, Brittany.
You have to bring a partner, right?
Yes, you have to bring a partner.
In.
Girls are allowed in. No
okay.
Or what?
But I mean, like that's I think
they have
you
to
don't have to.
The older I get, it gets a little bit more complicated. I think for some people, if they've been in a relationship for a really long time and they're very emotionally committed to somebody, but you have been dating them married to them for 40 years.
Yeah.
There's, sexual exploration does not mean the end of a relationship. Like, I think it's very different when you're 2 years into a relationship. I mean, I think it just depends on the couple. It's such a...
I guess so. My interpretation of cheating or having an affair would be the lie.
Yeah.
The lying.
Right.
Or
Yep.
the like, I'm here and I said I was going to be here and I'm, and even if that, like, to me, that's a kiss. Like, that's you lied. Yeah. Don't do it then. If that's what you want, let's have that conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you might as well have.
Yeah.
Done whatever.
I would rather
do whatever. If you're,
I like setting that parameter. I think that's a very good.
Yeah.
Way to set what we're talking about. Yeah. This is more about the lying than the.
I think it's more about the lying. I think it's about the sneakiness and the like. Oh God, this is gonna be a deep episode. But I think that committing yourself to somebody like that, and you're so vulnerable to them.
Mm-hmm.
They have all your secrets. They know all your stuff. Even the secrets that aren't like your secrets. They just know who you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're kind of just being like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that to me is the big cheat. That's the big affair, is being like I didn't, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's stressful.
I don't have the care to talk about our relationship because I'm having problems with it. I don't care that I'm, for whatever reason, something's going on in my life that I want to do it.
Yeah.
It's
living a different life. You're kind of living a different life at that point because they're like, you don't know them anymore.
Yeah. And then that's a very slippery slope. Once you start lying about one thing.
Yeah.
Right. It could turn into a whole
disaster
zone.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
have a family up in Canada. A second family in Canada.
Dude, that's the second family thing. So I've been making this joke that comedy's my second family. So my mom came with me to Vancouver and she met all my friends that were out there.
Yeah.
And I keep being like, oh, I have a secret family that no one knows about. That I'm just live a double life. That when I go on the road, I don't have to I just am not responsible to anybody and I have all these secret friends.
Yeah.
And then she met all these comedians. She's like, who are all these people?
And you're like, shh.
And I was like, they're my secret family. But yeah, it's the thing of having that secret. A lot of that used to be the thing too. We were talking about abortions, we were talking about the past. That was the thing when you men had there was a common thing. There was
oh yeah.
They had a second family on the road somewhere. It was a weird thing for a while that oh yeah, he's got another family in Chicago for some reason.
And
think of how easy that would have been before social media and Facebook and people knowing everything. If you were a traveling salesman, you literally could in the 50s, 60s, you could absolutely have another family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And no one would ever know about it.
Or a girl in every port, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
terrible, but
hard.
it's I mean,
although there's so many things about COVID that I'm excited to hear, what happened during, what happened to all those people that were A, cheating, and B, had a second family. Because you're I'm fucked.
Dude, they're
my God, yeah.
You're right. That's what a thought.
You're Daddy can't come home tonight because he's,
he has to isolate with his other family. We will see him when COVID
which
is
we don't
over.
know about.
Yeah.
You know what? You'd have to pick an A and a B. You'd have to pick a number one team. That's what you would do. You'd have to go.
And you couldn't travel. It wasn't as easy as picking up and being oh, I'm going to be away for work.
You'd have to.
You couldn't go anywhere.
No.
And the families don't know about each other. That's the secret family.
Right. Yeah.
There's going to be a documentary about this. I know it.
Oh,
And
God.
we're going to
Can't
make
wait.
it.
Yeah.
And we are.
Write into us. If you have stories, tell us. We
Yeah, we're
promise we'll
producing
put
it.
them on TV and talk all about them to
Yeah.
everyone.
COVID affairs.
COVID.
Oh my God.
Isn't that a movie?
I don't know, but
No, that's Covert Affairs. That's a TV show.
dude, copyright. If anybody takes that from me,
Fucking COVID
Yeah,
that's
we've got it. We've
COVID
got it.
affairs.
Of course it's not.
COVID Affairs is ours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, that's so good, Lena. We should do it. Write in. Tell us about your COVID affairs.
Mhm.
Call us on our hotline. It's just my cell phone number.
Yeah. It's
and these aren't
911.
live.
Yeah.
So
Send us an email at lifepairings.podcast@gmail.com.
Oh hell yeah. Tell us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Juicy details. You don't gotta reveal it.
Mm-mm.
I mean, send it from your like fake email. But
Yeah.
Yeah, just create
Um,
an email and
Yeah,
just
and then
send
we'll just
us.
come film you, and it'll be fine.
called
No one
I am
will
a
know.
cheater at gmail.com.
And we will blur out your face.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I can do that now. I learned how to do that. So
Oh, did you?
Well, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
So don't worry.
I want the voice cover up.
Your
the, like,
secrets
"Rah,
are
rah, rah."
safe with us.
yeah.
So I'm looking at my notes. I'm on. What am I on here? I'm on the on the psychology.
Ooh.
Oh, geez.
That was
All
very
right.
okay. This is something national psychologyclinic.com. And there's so many reasons. A lot of it stems from like just unhappiness in the relationship. Some people are serial cheaters. It's like a narcissism issue. They just
Right.
don't think they'll get caught. They don't feel anything. They don't care. It's not a problem to them. So they're just like,
Well, they'll just do what they want. Yeah.
they're just
And
gonna
if
do what
they
they want.
Are
They
dependent
need that
on,
hit of dopamine.
Yeah. And if they're
It could be
They
dependent
just
sex
on
want it. They
addiction.
don't care. They just
saying that they're pretty or handsome and getting that like attraction thing from other people, then
That's a real thing, though. Like, I mean, I have a friend that we used to joke about. God rest him, because he's dead now. But he was a comedian, and we used to joke all the time about how he was flirtatious with every single person, guy or girl, didn't matter. It was just that hit of dopamine that, like,
right.
because they liked him, he liked them. Like, it was like he didn't do anything, but it was just it was relentless.
Mhm.
And I think there are people that love being like,
Love.
you know, they love being loved that much and need to be loved that much and reassured constantly that, like, God, one person couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
you need that much reassurance and that much daily, like, I want to be with you. So there's that. I looked at one of the big ones is revenge.
Oh.
okay.
It's like a not necessarily revenge for cheating, but maybe revenge for not paying attention to me. Maybe
Yeah,
revenge
Yeah,
for
like neglect.
Yeah.
neglect.
Or
Yeah,
Yeah. That, to
financial
be
stuff
fair,
sometimes.
I'm
it's
like, that's
oh,
justifiable.
yeah.
financial stuff. Like, in all sincerity, if somebody blew you your whole life in like gambling or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, one
like,
of the
and the
biggest
ol-
things, that you probably would think in your head would be like, I'm gonna fucking cheat on you.
yeah, I'm leaving you, and the first thing I could do, like,
Because
the
I
first
can't
thing,
gamble it all away again because
No.
you've
you
already
did
taken
that.
all of our money.
Yeah.
it's already gone.
Yeah.
It's what is one of their things, feeling out of control or hopeless, having no control in the relationship at all,
Mhm.
being like, I don't feel like I'm like a partner in this, so I'm leaving, like, but quietly, because I'm not going to say it to your face. Yeah, so hopelessness is a big one. They say just like an outlet, be a frustration,
Yeah. Or
just an
stress.
stress,
It's
and
very
just
distracting to like meet somebody and like have a little.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
it's
You could
exciting,
just be
and
like, yeah, exactly. Like it takes your mind off something.
Yeah.
also like sex is a release.
Yeah.
It's like, and if that's your release, like, if that's your, like, so, like, it's also an addiction too.
Mhm.
Like, if that's how you just go, like, "Boh, done," then, like, I don't know, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah, so those were the top sort of reasons. Mostly, I mean, I would imagine that it starts with the relationship. There's always going to be, like, it's like they say, like, there's no bad kids, there's bad parents, and you're like, there's some bad kids, you know?
Yeah. There are.
So, but I think that's just like, maybe that's the relationship. Maybe it's something that's, learned behavior. It's
Yeah.
like and then that becomes a symptom of like trauma, and it's the only way you know how to like get over that trauma is by it's so deep. It's like, and not one situation is different from the other, and you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then
Also,
I
some
think
people
that,
just cheat on accident. Like, honestly, like I do
Yeah.
believe that sometimes you get hammered and your boss makes out with you, and you're like, oh
Oopsies.
God, I'm not gonna end the marriage over this. Everybody shut
Yes.
their fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Or like on every soap opera when like someone is drunk and
Yeah.
creeps into bed with their mother-in-law. You're like, that happens.
You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, yeah. But I think also too, it causes a lot of trauma.
It causes a lot of trauma.
Like there are a lot of people who have to go to therapy and have like cannot function in a relationship or function in day-to-day life because they've been cheated on. I think that goes back to the lying and the betrayal part of it.
It's a trust thing, because then then it's so hard to trust people. I've talked to a lot of friends who've been cheated on, and they're like, that's their number one. Like, then the jealousy comes in.
Right.
And that actually starts almost another cheating cycle, because you're so jealous and you're so like, you're insinuating somebody's cheating on you. You're insinuating somebody's leaving you. And it was like, you know, it's very like, you're like, fine, if you just think I'm doing it, I'm just going to do it because I'm being blamed for it anyways. And you're not leaving, so why wouldn't I, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So jealousy, I think it could be a major cause of it.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I think old men and young hot bitches.
It's a very like virile.
What's the psychology behind that? Yeah.
Well, I think that goes back to wanting to feel young again, wanting to feel light, wanting to know that you have that.
Yeah.
An ego too.
Yeah,
like,
ego. And actors and actresses
An
are
ego.
very
Big
notorious
time.
for like not maybe sticking it or sticking it in places they shouldn't be sticking it.
And I think also that's another whole interesting topic to dive into, which is, well, it kind of circles back to the beginning, what is cheating? So like actors and actresses
have to make out.
They're like dry humping each other, and those scenes, for anybody who's been on a movie set or does or doesn't know, it's not one take.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a long time. It's shift the cameras, it's move, it's get the lighting right. It's like a day's event. So if you have a full-on sex scene in a movie, like, and everyone's
you are rubbing your genitals between a piece of fabric.
Yeah. Although I think probably on the like 16th take, you're probably like, yeah, I'm not.
Or maybe on the 16th take, you're like, I have blue balls, so see you in my trailer in 10 minutes, because let's sort this out. This is problematic.
Yeah, how do guys, like, did they strap the old... Okay, because let's be honest, like, even if you're not, like, into your co-star, and if you're, like, a straight man...
I think that
you're rubbing up.
I can't remember.
Did they strap the penis down?
No, that's what there was a quote, and I can't remember who said it, but he was just, my apologies if I do get hard, and my apologies if I do not.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was going to say. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Because it's obviously like,
because women, I mean, they can hide that. If you're like really turned on, it's like, well, if you got your underwear on, it's like
you're fine.
Yeah.
And
let's move on.
What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking. That's exactly what we're talking about. But like Penelope Cruz too was saying that, like, I can't remember, it was somebody like did, and she was like, "This is not the first time," and I was like, "I love you, Penelope. This is so great."
Of course.
I love your
my Penelope accent.
Yes,
very sexy.
My Spanish, sexy, sultry. But yeah, she was like, "But so that is that cheating?" I guess you'd have to make an arrangement in your head with your partner if they're an actor.
Especially like if you're both actors.
Technically, a work. Yeah, I would say no, because you're not lying about it. It's literally
you're not lying about it.
It's literally
you're lying about it if you're
HBO.
going to your trailer and practicing.
Like, yeah, they're just like this. They're like, I saw the movie, and I got to be honest with you. I don't feel like you were 100% truthful.
I don't feel like you were honest here.
So I think that line is different for everybody.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard to navigate.
God,
And the song, which we'll discuss later, for Pina Coladas, I mean, that's really... I mean, those people were both trying to live a different life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's the psychology behind cheating? I don't know. Anyone can do it. No one's flawed. The lines are gray. It's insane. Try to tell the truth, and what are you gonna do about it?
One of those things that like every person, I don't know, it could be different to multiple people. Like it's some things that would be cheating to some people wouldn't be cheating to others. Like I remember reading about 2 porn stars that had kids and they're married.
Right.
Yeah.
One of them, I can't remember his name, but he was like a pretty famous English porn star and she was from the States. And she is a porn star as well. And they had children, like they're married, but they're fucking other people. Yeah. So like that's obviously not cheating to them. They're married. They have children. Like,
well, yeah.
That's a job.
That's a job. That's but you're right. It's a job. Yeah. So it's like, well, I think it's an emotional thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's what was
lying.
The purpose?
You have to be lying at some point. You might be lying to yourself, but
you might be lying to yourself, but you are lying regardless.
You're lying down with somebody.
You're lying down with them big old. Never mind.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cut it off.
Thank
you. Well, maybe there's some historical reasoning here. You can bring this all to a point, Carla.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna explain cheating. No, what I'm gonna explain is sometimes cheating causes country upheavals. So I'm gonna say this now, and you will get it later. Sometimes cheating really comes back to bite you in the ass.
Oh, okay.
Remember that. So I'm talking about Edward II, his lover, Piers Gaveston, his wife, Queen Isabella of France, and her boyfriend, oh God, sorry, I've just lost it.
This is exactly the kind of pornography I'm clicking on right now. So.
And her boyfriend, we'll go into his details later. Roger Mortimer. So this is way back, 1300. Woo.
Yeah.
So it's not recent. So let's go first with Edward II. His father was Edward I. He was also known as Longshanks. I don't know if you've seen that documentary called Braveheart.
Oh yeah,
that's the baddie in Braveheart.
Okay,
like the Mel Gibson Braveheart.
Yeah.
Remember when you used to get that? Like, if you had it on VHS, it was like 3 tapes. Or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was only 2, but Jesus Christ,
the narcissism on that movie.
You had to like take the videotape out, put a new one in.
Yeah.
Like you did with Titanic.
Oh yes, true.
So Edward II, he's like a second son, so he's not actually going to be heir to the throne. And he gets befriended up, like young princes would get people bringing in their like other kids their age. So he met Piers Gaveston, and basically they fell in love. I'm saying they fell in love. The history will go into a whole thing about whether you can claim someone's gay or not. I'm saying they fell in love. He seems to have fallen in love with 2 men, but he also had kids. So
he fell. This guy gets around. Quite frankly,
so,
I mean, boy, girl, regardless. This has no.
Yeah.
This guy's a liar.
But they like very much were bonded. They did everything together. And at one point, his father, the king, was, as a punishment, actually exiled Gaveston to France.
Oh, shit.
We lived at that power where, as like a parent, you're like, you're being a shithead. I'm sending your boyfriend to France.
Wouldn't that be so upsetting, though?
Yes.
Wouldn't you be like, I mean, I can't do anything about it, but I'm mad.
Yeah. And he was very upset. So his brother was obviously going to come to be king. He was betrothed to a girl at the age of when she was 2.
Good grief.
Yeah. That was Isabella of France. But she, when she was 12, they were like, okay, great, you guys can get married, because that's fine.
Sure.
Hey, though, I mean, we did learn in our Patreon episode, anybody that wants to listen to our bonus episode, 12-year-olds can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like run a camp. Yeah,
like run a camp,
get married, and
I know. I was like, "Where's this going?"
Like, what did we talk about?
I know. I was like,
yeah,
that was just a movie about Camp Nowhere, and we were. Please tune into our Patreon episode.
Yeah. So, anyways, unfortunately, the brother dies. So now Edward is heir to the throne.
Is this the prequel to Edward Scissorhands?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I knew it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And so he, as you do, gets to marry Isabella instead. She's 13 at this point. I think he was 23. So that's a thing.
Right, geriatric.
I know. So unfortunately,
die soon.
or fortunately, or whatever, this is history, people die. Edward the First, his father, dies. So Edward the Second, because there's a common theme here. Edward is the only name that you can name kings, apparently.
Oh my god, this is like Pride and Prejudice.
Yes. Mr. Darcy. Actually, there's only one Mr. Darcy.
This is a joke me and Lena have had for 20 years.
So anyways, he gets to be king, obviously, brings his buddy back. His little best friend, Piers, is back. And he gives him lots of money. He gives him lands. He gives him titles. And even when he goes off to go get married in France to Isabella, he lets him run as a regency. And I mean, like, Piers Gaveston was like high up. Like, he wasn't just like a person off the side of the road. But even if he had been a woman, like,
and what's wrong with that?
Nothing. But he wouldn't have been able to marry if Piers had been a woman. He wouldn't have been able to marry him, because it's like, yeah, you have to, kings got to marry other kings or queens, whatever.
Right. No, kings cannot marry kings.
That's right. Sorry. Yes. So, you know, like, he could have had titles and stuff, but yeah, he was like throwing them at him, not being very respectful, maybe, of the other people in the court. Okay. This guy's definitely his favorite.
Okay.
Getting a lot of favors. So anyways, he goes off, gets married to Queen Isabella. She comes back, 13 years old. They're crossing over the little water channel from on the boat. And who should be waiting for them when they arrive? That's right. Piers Gaveston. He's waiting there. Lots of hugs, kisses.
He's like, who this
Isabella? Bitch? Yeah, essentially. And then they just ignored her.
You know what? Honestly, I give this guy props, because he's like, this bitch 13.
Right? He's like,
I'm sure that's what
he's like, my backwards ass daddy sent my fucking normal age boyfriend to nowhere, and then set me up with a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I'm sure that was his objection.
I think so. That's how I read it.
Gotta
That's
be
good. Yeah. And it was very apparent to her, even at that time, that they were in love, and she was not going to be really part of the picture, which sucks when you have to move to a different country and you have no family there.
She was like, you're not even my real husband.
Yeah. I was supposed to marry the brother. Even at the coronation for the king and the queen, he wears purple. You have to remember.
Yay. Just kidding. I love it.
Well, yeah.
Purple is regal.
Purple is only for, like, the top.
Yeah.
It's very expensive to make, because it's something I don't understand. Some silk.
Carla, you're getting so gay up in here.
Sorry.
Only the top.
Only the top.
Bottoms wear blue.
Yeah.
Bottoms are different colors.
Bottoms wear blue.
So obviously he's kind of stepping on a lot of.
That's the title of my new album. Bottoms wear blue.
Oh my god.
Yes. So he's obviously stepping on a lot of toes. Isabella's father, who's also the king of France, is getting a lot of complaints, not from just his daughter, but like from other people. All the money he sent over, all the jewels,
Yeah.
Not really getting sent to her. She's not getting any of that. But Piers is getting everything he wants.
Well.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Come on now. So how old is Piers?
I think they're all, at this point, they're in their
12.
20s, like mid-20s.
See, I'm on board with this story. I think this is going to be the right choice.
I think he's doing fine. In 1311, a baronial committee drafts the list of ordinances, and they order, basically they're like, dude, you're just giving all this stuff to this one guy. We don't like it because we want that stuff. So we don't think it's very fair. So
okay.
You better give up some of your power and you better exile that guy out of here because we don't like him. This is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, fine. I'll give you some of my power and I'll send my boyfriend away. And then he recalls him like right back.
He's just like, he's like, babe, you're going on a vacation. He's like, a vacation? You're like, yeah.
Yeah. Without me for a little while.
Me?
Yeah. So doesn't last long, is back with the king. So this upset not just like the English nobles, but the family. So Edward's cousin, Thomas, the second Earl of Lancaster, along with some other barons, goes and captures Gaveston, and then they execute him in 1312.
Damn, hey?
Yeah.
Damn.
And how was the execution in 1312? Is that like a
he got
head cut off?
I believe he got hung.
I'd way rather have my head cut off, I think.
I believe they cut before.
Hanging is
no, but I think he got
fucked.
hanged. What's the correct word for that?
It is got hanged. It is because
it is hanged. I always thought it was. I'd be like, this is wrong because I thought it was hung.
Right. Yes, I know it sounds weird. I believe though they cut off the rope before he had actually suffocated, and then I think they did some other things too. Then maybe stabbed him and then cut his head off. I'm getting very confused. There's a lot of people getting stabbed and things getting cut off.
I just thought how funny it would be to be this person at a party. Oh man, I heard he was hung like a horse. Hanged like a horse. He was hanged like a horse.
Everyone's like, oh god.
What horses do you know? So boyfriend gone, sadly, which sucks. And things were not going very well for Edward. He had been defeated in Scotland in 1314 to Robert the Bruce.
Oh yeah, he was.
So yeah, I mean, just stop invading Scotland.
They will kill you.
Yeah,
they will take you out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So he's very sad, but and also I think there was like widespread famine going on. He's not very popular with the people, but he falls in love again. Just remember, everyone, you can fall in love again, even if your boyfriend got hanged.
Just because your boyfriend got hanged doesn't mean you'll die alone. That's this number one hit of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More trumpets though.
Yeah.
You can definitely.
I hear it. It's a good tune there.
If your boy.
So he falls in love with Hugh Despenser the Younger.
A
no
relative of.
I was going to say no relation to my
a
Scottish
relative
husband.
of your husband.
Who knows? Actually,
I mean, you would 23andMe.
Yeah.
Figure this shit out.
With that specific request attached.
Yeah. And do we have any relation to? So Despenser was even better at spending money than Gaveston had ever been, and I think he was a little bit more of a bit of a dick about it. And this is where we're going to cross to a different boyfriend now. So we're going to talk about Roger Mortimer. So Roger Mortimer was born in 1287. The Mortimers were very close to King Edward I and the Queen. They're very well off. But in 1304, Roger's father was killed in battle. And despite Roger being 17, being married with kids, he was actually made a ward of someone. He was made a ward of Piers Gaveston. So we're going back in time a little bit here.
Is that like the conservatorship? being a ward of someone.
I think you're. I don't know if you get their money.
We're like, is that like Britney Spears' dad?
Yes.
Tell me it's Britney Spears. It's the only way I understand.
I was gonna say, me and Lena are so lost because it's like it's so long ago. Lena's like, what does this have to do with Britney Spears? I'm like, do you have any Johnny Depp stories?
So
we only realize what's going. Yeah, if it's happened in the last year and 6 months,
then you got it. Okay, so Roger Mortimer.
Well, no, not really.
Okay. Is the ward
of
Edward II's boyfriend before he got hanged. This is back in the day.
Right.
So Roger Mortimer actually becomes like a really experienced fighter at the time. He expands on lands. And then sadly, Gaveston gets hanged. And now we're back to Hugh Dispenser, who sounds like whose name is Dispenser?
Hey, maybe that's where the name came from. That guy just dispensed things.
Maybe he dispensed
Mr. Pez.
Yeah.
He's just like this. He just is famous for like.
This is for those who are on the audio side of this. You're missing out.
Good thing this is on video.
Yeah.
For anyone who's blind, Brittany is opening her mouth like a Pez dispenser.
Like a Pez.
It's very good.
You're like Brittany's opening her mouth, kind of like a pet, but more like a dickhead.
Yeah, more like an asshole.
So Mortimer actually does not like Dispenser. Their land backs up onto each other. And what's like a big thing that you want at this point? You want land. If your land is backing onto somebody else's land, uh-oh. Fight.
Spaghetti-o.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-o. So
I'm doing a whole who's on first routine in my head where he's like, yo, Dispenser, and he's like, this is Spencer, and he's like, no, Dispenser. Yeah, Dispenser.
Yeah,
the guy named Spencer tried to jazz it up a little.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
So anyway, so now Hugh Dispenser, the new boyfriend number 2 of Edward II, he's in, and he's trying to collect a lot of land, and he does this stupid thing where he tries to take some of the land in Roger Mortimer's area. So him and some other barons join the Contrarians.
Ooh, there we go. There's the word.
Fancy, very fancy. And they go to London. And again, we have the same story. They ask for the removal of Dispenser from the court. So unfortunately, Dispenser has a lot of money and can have an army, so they came, and then all the other barons left. So it's just our little Roger Mortimer all by himself against the big army of dispensing people. So he ends up going to the tower.
Oh.
The murder tower.
The murder tower.
For kissing?
Yeah. The kissing tower.
I don't know where murder tower came from, to be honest.
True, a lot of people were murdered in the tower.
That's true. Maybe that, yeah.
Do you know what's the worst about that? They didn't have elevators, so that you would have to walk to your own death. You would have been like, kill me on the first floor. You can't kill me on the first floor. That would have been me the whole way up.
Right? You're like, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, you got to make everything such a fucking thing.
That'd be me too. I'd be like, where's my fucking Big Mac meal for my last meal?
I know. Just eating a Big Mac meal, and I'm like, kill me already.
Yeah. I finished my fries. I'm ready to go.
I'm so melodramatic. Oh my God, kill me already.
So he actually escapes the tower. He flees to France.
What? He escaped? How? He's on his last meal.
Apparently, he drugged the people.
He's a faster runner.
Like the tower is on the river, of like the River Thames.
Okay.
So I think he
jumped into the river.
He's like, what do you want for your last meal? He's like, actually, I'd like a last swim. They're like, is that a thing?
I'd like a lifeboat.
I'd like a.
They're like, okay.
And
that's
they're
probably
like
cheaper than a.
I'd like a bunch of rope.
It's just rappel down. He's like, it's this guy's first day on the job. He's like, you're not gonna run away, are you? He's like,
Wow. Because I just got this job. The last prison I was at, I like 4 people out, and they wouldn't let me stay there anymore.
Right? He's like, I used to drive a carriage, and I let the shit hit all the people inside the carriage. Now I got fired from that job. This is my. I'm on my last leg,
and I need a life jacket.
Yeah, I want to move out of my mom's basement, man. Just don't fucking escape.
Have you met my mom? He's just as dramatic. She's impossible.
So he escapes. He goes to France because that's, where everyone is now. He joins the French court of Charles IV. He obviously does not like Edward II. Neither does Charles IV, because Charles IV is the brother of, I feel like I need a map, is the brother of Isabella, the queen. Okay, let's have a brief summary.
Yeah, we need a family tree here.
We've got Edward II, and he's married to Isabella, Queen Isabella of France. Her brother is King of France. Okay. Edward II is dating.
You lost me. No, I'm kidding. No. Keep going.
Is cheating on Isabella with Mr. Dispenser. Pez dispenser.
We're gonna call him Pez.
Okay.
Dispenser.
Pez dispenser.
No, just Pez. Whatever.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so we kind of got that. We got all that.
Yep.
Okay. So 1 year later, Isabella and her son that she had with, I don't know why I need to put my hands on
Edward.
Actually, that did help me.
Okay, good.
The visuals.
Yeah,
that
they had a baby.
Yeah.
I'm making a V with my hands. This is the baby.
They had a baby.
Yeah.
Babies come out of
vaginas. That's right.
That's like where the V came from.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. So she actually takes him to France.
I'm playing the baby.
Babies.
I'm the baby being born.
Yeah. She's the baby.
And I look all inbreedy because it's the 1700s and they're all related.
Totally.
Oh yeah. And you're probably gonna die at birth.
Yeah. Or later, like at 2. So anyways,
ripe old age of 2.
I get typhoid if I'm not married off by then, like the old bitch I am.
At the age of 2, of course. Okay, so Isabella takes her son to her brother's court in France. She's trying to work out a deal because her brother and her husband are arguing over land. How many people have had to go through this themselves? Obviously, hands up. It's very common. She had to broker a deal between the brother and the brother-in-law and the brother. Yeah, husband.
Yes, the brother husband.
Let's be honest, it probably was. They're probably cousins.
Right.
So she's over there, and then she's like, gets this deal worked out. But she's like, I'm not going back there. It's kind of shitty. They take all my money. They took all my land. My husband's off with a Pez dispenser. I'm staying here. And guess what? I have the heir to the throne with me. She also falls in love. Now, who do you think she falls in love with? Do you remember what his name is? We didn't give him a cute nickname.
Oh,
God
damn
it.
Oh, Pierre. What's the guy from the beginning?
No, Roger Mortimer. Piers is dead. He been hanged.
Oh, Pierre, that's right. The tower.
James Bond.
It's a whole thing.
Yes, she falls in love with James Bond.
Sean Connery.
No, he's in Scotland. That's a separate story.
Okay.
Yeah. She falls in love with this Roger Mortimer, the one that had escaped using the rope that he asked for as his last meal. That guy.
Okay.
Yeah, they fall in love. So now, King Edward II's got his boyfriend Pez dispenser. Queen Isabella's got her boyfriend Roger Mortimer. Whatever. Okay. Do we have a name for him? Nickname? James Bond. Okay. Yes. I see, because Roger Moore. Got it. Okay. She's got her boyfriend Roger Moore. So they decide they are going to invade. So they start to gather an army and they invade in 1326. Meanwhile, Mr. Pez Dispenser is caught. He is dragged behind some horses. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mikal.
This is Pez Dispenser.
Pez
Roger
Dispenser,
Moore.
it's about to go
Mortimer.
very badly for you. Oh, look, Murphy.
Oh, God. All right. Out you go.
I'm about to tell the worst story ever. Oh, Murphy.
Oh my God. It's like they're reenacting
Oh, Edward II and his dog. So Pez Dispenser, Hugh Dispenser, is dragged behind horses. He's tied to a ladder. He has his genitals cut off.
Oh boy.
Damn.
They are serious about
yeah.
stuff.
Then they stab him and take his entrails out.
That's like your bowels, essentially.
Yeah. And then they
God.
take out his heart if he wasn't dead already. I don't know.
Do you know what?
Just
That's such an insult to energy. And like, here, there's no way you're alive, and they're like, take his heart.
Yeah, just make sure. And then just in case, they cut his head off. Just
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure. You know what, though? You can never be too sure.
You can't. You don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, it was an old time. They don't have pulses, or maybe they didn't know about pulses. I don't know.
I gotta be honest with you. I think I'd rather have my head cut off first. It's unfortunate that was the last to go.
But that is, if you were really high up or a very authority or whatever, you were high up in court, that's how you got your head. That would be how you were executed.
Oh,
hanging. No, I'm so confused at the verbiage of this. It's hanging now. Hanging was for lower classes. Obviously, being tied to a ladder and having your nuts and your entrails cut out of
would
you.
just be such a bummer.
Yeah.
I feel like, can you imagine? Or if they cut off your head and you still had there 8 seconds, that your head sees stuff. You're like, not my ass. Come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on now.
Just a head bobbing around. Not my ass. Stay out of my ass, for Christ's sake.
It's such a Monty Python.
So
my brain's a little Monty Python-y.
Now Edward II, he's lost his second boyfriend to execution. His wife and her boyfriend are taking over his country. He flees and eventually relinquishes his crown to his son, who's 14, Edward III, because what else are you going to call him? We're not
Get a Bob in there.
Yeah, come on, guys. Then Edward dies in 1327, so about a year later. He's likely murdered because you don't really want the ex-king around when you're trying to run the country, because Isabella,
he's not even doing it.
He's what?
Oh, sorry. I was like, he's not even being a jerk. He's just I actually have an idea, and they're like, oh my God, kill him.
Yeah,
get him out of here.
Yeah. Because Isabella and Mortimer are obviously, they need to rule as regents because this kid's 14, so they have to be in control. And so so he's likely murdered. There is a rumor, it's highly unlikely, that he was killed by having a hot rod shoved up his bum.
Always in the butt.
I know. I mean, in theory, this would show no signs of being murdered.
Oh, truly.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
What a way to go. I feel until somebody caught on and they were like, well, looks like he died of natural. Wait, check his ass.
I feel I can't remember this
literally on fire
for sure, but I do not think he's the only noble that went this way.
God damn it, Barry, she's smoking. When you've got a hunch, you've really got a
hunch. Okay, so everybody else is dead now except for Isabella and Roger Mortimer, James Bond. Now you think they've learned from this previous situation. Maybe don't be doling it out to your favorites. Keep some people happy. No, obviously not. They give out favors and lands to all their friends. Everybody now hates Mortimer because he murdered basically a king. And then he orders the execution of Edmund. See, look, we got a different name. Woo!
Almost
but it's
different.
Still pretty close to Ed.
Yeah. Who is actually Edward's uncle. He's very popular. So the barons are like, okay, this guy's starting to go after the family. He's probably going to take the crown for himself. So in 1330, they encourage the son, Edward III, this one, the V baby.
How far back do you think that the phrase, Edward, that's my father, call me Eddie, goes back?
Oh,
I think people have been douchebags for that long.
Yeah.
Probably.
The barons encourage him to take power, take back his crown. They obviously execute Mortimer, and they only imprison his mom, Isabella. So that's nice.
That's a treat.
Very nice. Apparently when she died, she actually lived like for a while longer, to 1338. She kind of got to live just a normal life, which is very nice.
Let me guess, hot poker to the ass.
No, I think she died of natural causes.
That'll do it.
But this goes back to your jealousy reasons for having
cheating.
an affair, right? And
Yeah.
she was like ignored. Her relationship is not good. She wanted out. Couldn't get out. So anyways, her son makes sure that his father's heart is placed in her coffin with her.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little passive aggressive, if I'm being honest.
I like it though.
Okay.
Because you know what? In an era where people are just hot pokering each other in the ass and cutting out entrails and slicing off nut sacks.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, his was like a little passive aggressive, like he was
that's
like
actually not bad.
He goes like this. He goes, you'll be buried with what you've done.
Yeah.
How about that? I mean, you live with the consequences.
Yeah.
Forever.
Right.
Edward III kicks off the 100 Years' War with France and later the War of the Roses. So, it's a weird time.
Very
interesting time.
Because as you found out, it doesn't bite you in the ass. Apparently, it sticks you with a hot
sticks you in the ass.
Yeah.
But still, I prefer. You know what?
I'd rather be bit in the ass.
I think I'd rather be bit in the ass, quite frankly.
I mean, we've all been bit in the ass.
Have all been. Yeah.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be nice if you asked me if you're gonna turn me into a human fucking fire puppet.
Yeah, kebab.
A Brittany kebab.
So yeah, that's the story of Pez Dispenser and James Bond. And
what a world.
Quick kings and queens. I've been like ragging on the US quite a bit lately, and they're having some harder times. And lots of people are taking up that mantle at the moment. So I thought I would go and rag on the British.
The British and the French.
Fucking why not?
French, as is our tradition.
As is
as Canadians.
That's my favorite episode of South Park is the Canadian episode where the King and Queen of Canada get married, and everything is they're like, they now shall drink the butterscotch pudding, as is tradition. They cut each other's
South
arms
Park
off.
is always ragged so hard on Canadians. It's so funny.
It's so funny to me. Because you know what they do that I appreciate? They go so hard in such a, it's so unrealistic, like the direction they're going, that if anyone was offended, you were like, are you offended that they think that kings and queens get married up here and then drink butterscotch and then rip each other's arms off? And beat them? What are you talking about?
All Canadians are just happy to be mentioned.
And we have
I know we're all so excited that like an American show.
They made a song about us.
Blame Canada.
Yeah,
dude. The
Didn't
square
that, like, win an Oscar.
I love the square wheels because it's so funny. Because do you know what that is? That's just the slightest like. It's like Canada is like a bizarro America to them. So they're like, I know. Instead of having round wheels,
and they're like beady eyes, and they're like
they're
like half.
Oh, the half mouths.
Like their mouths, they're just like Muppets. It's so funny.
It's my favorite.
So
I think
good.
it's so funny. Wow, good story, Carla. That was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Sorry, that was a bit long because it's complicated but
well, good thing you had your hands up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're gonna have no idea what's going on.
Totally.
What about you, Lena? What do you want to pair an affair with?
An affair. Whoo. Well, I've got a song for you.
Ooh.
So anyone who knows me knows that I've got a really soft spot for Amy Winehouse.
Oh, yes.
And the song I'm going to talk about is "You Know I'm No Good."
Oh, yes.
By Amy Winehouse.
Good one.
And that was off her Back to Black album, like her big album, released in 2006.
Wow. That's longer than I thought
she died in 2011.
Great.
Isn't that crazy?
That's so nuts. Yeah, that's 10, 12 years ago.
Devastating. Heartbreaking. And if anyone hasn't seen the documentary just entitled Amy,
I don't think I have.
Watch it. Honestly, you'll cry. It's just informative, and like it just like her whole, I don't know. It's just so good. I don't even know what to say. It's amazing.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So the summary of this song, so you guys have heard it, You Know I'm No Good. It's one of her big singles. So the song is about a girl who can't stick to like one guy.
Right.
She's in love with a guy who's also like very in love with her. She's trying so hard to stay faithful to him, but she can't. They split up. And when she like cried for him and she said she's going to change, he decided for them to get married. And when they are married, she repeated her crime, like she cheats on him again. And he didn't give her any reaction.
Oh.
So he got fed up with her cheating. And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and leaves.
Which is worse.
And she, yes, that's the thing. She feels worse. So I'm not very good at like telling a story. Obviously, I'm reading from like Blogspot, but like, yeah, read the lyrics.
I'm gonna go re-listen to that song because it's one of those things. I don't think I knew that.
Pay attention to it.
Like I'm just driving the car, like she's okay, and just like, but not.
It's extremely. I mean, the song itself is pretty sad, but like when you actually like understand what she's saying in the lyrics, like when you maybe have to look them up because it's hard to understand. Like, yeah, it's a really, really good song, and it is about like cheating, infidelity,
right?
Someone fucking up.
Do you know what that I was going to say?
Fix it. It's like she's trying to fix it, and then the person moves on without her.
That's like I was going to say, one of my favorite things about Amy Winehouse is like she sort of tells the story from the perceived bad guy. Like she has this spot of like well,
it's always her.
It's always her. She like humanizes these like
she's always the bad guy.
Yeah. And I love that. Like I love that because I think like
she's so fucking talented. It makes me cry my eyes out when 2 albums we got from her. Yeah. That's it.
I know. I listened to so I've always liked Amy Winehouse, but was never like a big like diehard fan. But I was in COVID, I had to go do a show in Toronto, and we got quarantined because it was in the middle of quarantine. And it was like a filmed thing, and it had to be like we were all in our own separate hotels, and you were locked in there until you had to get like a test, and then like you just were in there for kind of an inordinate amount of time. But so we they put us in this like bougie sort of hotel in Toronto where they had record players, and every room had like 3 or 4 records. And there was like a soda stream in the hallway, and it was like it was like a boutique.
Fucking cool.
It was bougie and it was boutique. It was like a little boutique hotel. It was the coolest fucking thing. Yeah. I've never had so much fun in my life. I was like in there waiting for my test results, and Amy Winehouse record was in there, Back to Black, and I put that on, and I bet you I listened to it 25 times, like in
Oh.
like a 3 or 4 day span, and was just like, it was so like, it almost put me in the weirdest mindset because I just was like in this like space by myself listening to it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I just have this great appreciation for her. Like I've now listened to like Valerie, I mean, is a song that I just
and she
play
did
on
a
repeat.
wonderful cover.
Yeah.
Like that's like my favorite cover of Valerie. Like,
who did the original song?
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
Look it up. I will look it up.
Like, someone look it up. I don't know how to use a phone.
You know, it's saying that about like when you go on vacation, they say that you should always like listen to a song quite a few times when you're on a vacation or like on a trip, because I bet you'll then have that tie when you hear that album back to your trip in Toronto.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it's like,
so you probably like think of that.
Yeah,
I do, but it was almost like a mental state, I think of more.
Right.
Like, and not a bad one.
Yeah.
Like a sort of sometimes I don't think melancholy's bad. I sometimes almost like to put myself in that like emotional state it's where I feel the most, I think. And that, like, when I listen to that album, it makes me really melancholy and like sort of like just like within myself. Like it's like that. So when I put that on, it like kind of immediately takes me back to that, like, whoa, oh God.
Right.
Go inward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like Valerie might have been an original Amy Winehouse.
That's what I thought. I was confused.
Yeah. I did find a song
I think
by
maybe, you know what? I think I heard something that was made after, and I just assumed
that was the original.
that was the original.
her whole
Holy
album.
shit, that's
very good.
Yeah, everyone go listen to Valerie.
Immediately. And she's no good. I'm no good. She's no good.
You know I'm no good.
You know I'm no good. Great pick, Lean.
Very good.
Very good pick.
Should we talk about the other song, which is actually called Escape? Did we know that?
I think I did know that because I have it
that.
I have a Jack Johnson version of it on my phone.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which
this one was the Pina Colada song. This was written by Rupert Holmes, I guess, or sung by Rupert Holmes. I didn't know this was a cheating song because I only listened to the chorus.
I didn't either. I mean, yeah, everyone thinks it's like, oh, a nice, like, cute song.
Yeah, like I
goes to show you don't really listen to a lot of lyrics unless you're like in it for the lyrics.
Yeah. So yeah, the story is he's feeling a little not having a great time with his wife, so he puts out an ad in the newspaper for someone that likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, not into yoga. have half a brain. Yeah, like that's a little.
This guy's in a
pedantic.
Goddamn elitist.
No, not pedantic. He's a bit of a dick mood. Right? And then in the end, he goes to meet this girl that he's met online, and it's his wife the whole time. And I'm like, and they're like celebrating, and I'm like, this is not for celebration.
No,
you guys need a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
And
or you know what? Talk to
that?
each other.
Yeah.
If you both love yoga so much, you think it'd fucking come up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, what is going on? It's interesting to me. It's like.
Can I just say something because I'm like crazy?
Sure.
Valerie is a cover.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh,
by the Zuttons. And then Mark Ronson redid it with Amy's vocals. So I'm not insane.
There it is.
Would we have heard that song?
No, she made it famous.
Okay.
But they're not very old. 2006. Anyways, forget that I'm here. Carry on.
Forget that I even exist.
Forget that I live
you know
here.
What?
Yeah.
You and all your new hot poker friends.
That means
I wish.
So yeah, anyways, that's that song, Pina Colada. If we've ruined it for you.
Weird.
Sorry.
No, you've not ruined it for me because I don't think that I stumbled upon that myself. I think that I like heard over
I never would have known.
Like somebody was like, you know what that song's about, right? It's like when somebody tells you, and you know what? When somebody tells you for the first time too, they act like they invented like knowing, and they go, It's like the same people that go, Phil Collins wrote that song about the guy drowning, and you're like, no, he did. Shut up.
I love to be that person.
I know. No, I don't.
I was almost that I was trying to be that person.
I'm often that person. You know why? Because I have like little tidbits and facts. I go, I have an idea everyone should know.
And I think it's fun, and I think people do appreciate it later. Just maybe.
I hope so.
I think so.
Otherwise, my whole personality is a wash.
Yeah, me too.
Which is just like, just me being
we have
like,
to have
hey,
a podcast.
I bet nobody wants to hear me. I bet everybody wants to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. Well, that's literally what we're doing.
I love that. Yeah. I so blatantly shit on the exact same.
Wait, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
I'm like,
let's tell you facts about hot pokers, Amy Winehouse, and Pina Colada songs. Speaking of Pina Coladas,
yes.
Shall we
dive in?
Delve into the drink.
Yes. Please.
So, like I showed you, I'm drinking a Breezer Pina Colada.
Make a splash.
Like Bacardi Breezer?
I think so. It definitely tastes of that form.
Carla went back to high school.
I did.
Actually,
I tried to find the stuff to make a pina colada. It's hard. It's hard to find that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like a blender, and it's like coconut and like.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, so basically, apparently, pina colada means strained pineapple.
Oh.
Which is not what you think of when you think of pina colada. I think I probably think coconut more than pineapple.
Yeah, I think coconut more than pineapple.
But they always have a pineapple wedge.
Yes.
True. Very true.
So it's usually made
with... it's very like coconutty.
Yeah. It's made with rum, generally the light rum, cream of coconut or coconut milk, and pineapple juice. It's generally blended or strained. It's hard to find cream of coconut if you don't just go to the grocery store like me. I just went to the liquor store and then I tried to go to 7-Eleven and I found none of these things.
I know. I was gonna say I don't know. It's just in the. I'm pretty sure.
Like, do you have a fresh coconut?
Yeah. I'm like, excuse me.
But you're like at the Swifties.
The other thing I'm going to do today, which is new, some lovely people bought me this the Savoy cocktail book, which I believe is a cocktail book for it was you guys. Yeah.
How sweet of us.
Yeah.
Oh, a couple of dames here.
You guys got me Empress Gin this year, so we'll have to delve into that.
Oh, I do remember the Empress Gin.
Oh yeah, I think I owe you $20 for that, Lena.
She probably owes you for the book. So
we're all good. Cancel it out.
Everything's fine. I believe this book was written originally in the 30s or something. Does anybody remember? It's in London.
Mm-hmm.
So their recipe is 3 ounces of rum, 3 tablespoons of coconut milk, 3 tablespoons of crushed pineapple. I place in a blender with 2 cups of crushed ice and blend at high speed for a short time. Strain into a Collins glass and serve with a straw.
Ooh,
that sounds pretty like a good. I mean, 3 ounces of that's a triple.
That's a thing about a lot of those.
That's a triple, baby.
That's a goddamn triple, sweetheart. That's the thing about those beach drinks. Yeah, they're pretty boozy. Like they're like taste so sweet, but there's a lot of like a Mai Tai has like 5 shots in it, and like
and I didn't really
like one like little tiny drop of like
flavoring, juice.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this is delicious. And then you're like making out with your husband's best friend, and then you're in cheat camp.
You're now passed out in the
It's
beach.
a drink for cheaters.
Yeah. The other one I'm gonna mention, there's a book that friend of the podcast, Chantel, got me called Women's Libation, which just basically they take cocktails and they rename them after like cool women. So this one's called a Frida Calada, like
Love
Frida from the artist.
Yeah, Frida Kahlo.
So there she's drawing the picture.
Nice.
This one is actually a tequila one, and they say to put it in a margarita glass. 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of coconut cream, which I still don't know what that means. 2 ounces of pineapple juice.
It's in a can.
It's just in a little can like this big.
But it's okay because also there's the coconut milk that you use like when you're cooking Thai food or whatever.
Right.
I think it's the same thing.
And also coconut water. God, is there anything a coconut can't do?
And a Bounty bar. Throw a fucking Bounty bar in there.
Yeah. This one has a half an ounce of lime juice and a dash of vanilla extract. 1 cup of crushed ice. Blend on high with a blender. Garnish with pineapple slice and lime wheel.
Ooh,
Nice.
I think I like that one better, quite frankly.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's
the
'cause I
other
like
one
tequila a little better than rum.
Yeah, that one sounds
would
pretty
be
good.
interesting. So, I from Wikipedia it says that a pirate maybe gave it to his men.
Of course.
Because it had coconut, which maybe they had
Captain
access
Jack
to.
Sparrow.
Yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow gave
Yeah.
it to Kate Winslet, and everyone got married.
Right.
And then 5 episodes later, he gave it to Penelope Cruz.
That's Titanic, right?
It's like,
You guys
what
are talking
fan
about
fiction is
Captain
this?
Jack Sparrow.
I love it.
And Kate
That's so
Winslet
good.
were on a boat and it crashed
She
to
was
an
a
island.
she was a
Right?
19th
And then-
century lady. And
dude,
he
it's-
was a pirate.
it's just-
Yeah.
And they
It
did
was
some
a
kisses.
tale as old as time.
Yes. And one of them was king of the world or something.
Where'd all the rum go?
Yeah.
That's
Again,
what he says.
it has origins in Cuba, in the 50s, as most of these drinks seem to do.
Yeah, it seems like a
Right.
lot of them came out of Havana, like in the party sort of like
Yeah.
50s and like, and I think before the U.S. and Cuba had all that stuff, like I think a lot of people went down to Havana. Like I think it was a really
Oh, yeah.
popular like
Yeah.
place.
So yeah, that's a pina colada.
Great. I think we had a really rounded out episode. I really enjoyed my time here, you gals.
Yeah,
Me too. I really did. We learned a lot.
we
Had
did.
a lot of laughs.
We did.
Had a lot of laughs. I've developed a terrible fear of hot pokers.
Me too.
I'm a little afraid of Pez dispensers myself.
I used
don't
to
know.
just, when people were say, "What's my worst fear?" I used to just say being buried alive. Now
Mhm.
I guess I'm gonna say being pokered to death
Yep.
And buried alive.
and then buried alive.
Because okay, I am wondering, how do you actually get killed from that?
it
Oh, it's
doesn't just burn your insides.
Yeah.
Like you'd really have to get it up there to like start doing a lot.
Oh
of
God, I
damage.
can't even. That's
Oh
horrible.
god. I mean, what a way to end. But
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
I'm like
Sorry.
my eyes are watering.
you know that scene from Home Alone when he touches the doorknob and it burns
Mhm.
his hand, but
Mhm.
inside.
Think about that up your ass.
And
but
that's
not
what
on the
happens in the
outside. You
sequel.
remember how he couldn't use his hands? It'd be so problematic not to be able to use your
Your
stomach
ass.
or kidneys.
God. Yeah.
Oh God.
Ugh.
Oh, good grief. I'm gonna go thank you're never grateful for things until you don't have them. And I'm just gonna be so grateful that I don't have a hot poker on my ass.
That's good. Yeah,
Right?
that's good.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna go to bed tonight and say my little prayers. In the meantime,
Mhm.
you are our gods. We love
Yes.
you. We pray to you. We worship you. Or thank you so much for listening. And we hope that you continue to listen. And as always, check us out. We've got a fun Instagram, some interactive stuff there. We have a Patreon where more bonus episodes, fun stuff. We're doing a summer series. Carla, do you want to tell them a little bit about the summer series?
Yeah, we're gonna do summer movies. So first up on the docket is Camp Nowhere. Yes, you're saying, oh, that Christopher Lloyd classic. Yes, that is what we're doing. And
You call it a
Andrew Keegan, I
Christopher
guess,
Lloyd. I was gonna say I call it an Andrew Keegan classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be checking out some summer movies. If you have any ideas, get on
Let us
Patreon and tell us what's your favorite summer movie.
Yeah,
And we'll literally watch anything and
Not
talk about
Grease. I'm not
anything,
watching Grease.
so-
I'm not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
Grease.
we did make a promise that we weren't going to.
Well, everyone's watched Grease, so whatever.
That's what I figure.
I got a couple in my brain, but in the meantime, Lena, do you have any last words? You want to share your feelings?
No.
Oh, I've got some.
And
So,
actually, everyone just go listen to Back to Black.
yeah,
Yeah,
Just
great
do
advice,
it.
actually.
yeah. If you can
Just
get it
do
on
it.
vinyl, that'd be
If you
amazing.
haven't,
Oh God,
listen to
It's-
it. listen to it if you haven't listened to it in a while.
Oh my god, I have a great idea. Actually,
Turn
here's what
on.
I think you should do. When it's raining outside, put vinyl on the record player and listen to Back in Black, and then just cheat relentlessly on your spouse.
And then feel horrible about it because you're listening to that song.
Yeah, it's just, cyclical, really.
And then listen to the happier Pina Colada song. Which is so much.
Well, our job here is done.
Can't say we didn't try.
Check out Brittany's going to be on Roast Battles on CTV, I believe.
Yes, July 11th.
Right?
Woo!
Yes,
July
very
11th.
exciting. Check
Which is
out
also my
Lena's.
niece's
I'll be
birthday.
recording that.
Yeah. Check out Lena on Instagram. She's doing a little Lena Learns Instagram thing. It's very cute.
That's very fun, actually. I
Yeah,
really
I
enjoy
had
that
like 2
series.
hashtags with it, and people are like, "That's really funny," because I don't know how to use Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, me neither.
I think it's so fun.
I don't know how to fucking use it.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any tips,
There you go.
Or
Visit
tricks.
Hashtag. We're just all over your things.
We're with you. We're around you. We're in
We're
you.
in our-
We're hot.
we're in you like a hot poker in your asshole.
Yeah.
With it.
That's the best description of us ever.
Okay. Oh my god, we're so sorry. Have a great week.
Yes.
Love
Hey,
you
check it out.
guys.